When you think of the word exam, do you identify with any of the images displayed? The image of the stressed student has been all of us at some point, especially in college where the workload is heavy. I'm sure you nursing students out there can resonate with this. I chose this topic as an opportunity for all of us to gain helpful tips on how to battle this snake or monster that many of us make of test anxiety. Unfortunately, I tend to be an anxious person in general, but when it comes to school and exams, I my anxiety levels increase double if not triple. The main cause, poor time management along with feeling unprepared, if I'm being honest. But from the start of this year to where I am now, I can say that I've immensely improved because of the tips I will share with you shortly. According to the class survey we took at the beginning of the semester, many of you are around my age, 21. So I can conclude that we may share common student challenges. That being said, test anxiety is something we've all struggled through at some point. Today, I'm going to walk you through why exam stress is such a problem and some tips on how you can control and hopefully overcome this monster. One main cause of test anxiety is a lack of time management coupled with feeling unprepared. The intention of my speech is for you to understand that this is a major problem and to know how to address it in a positive way by two solutions. The hope by the end is that you'll have decided that taking control of test anxiety is actually possible and you'll know how to help yourself and others. Let me start by showing you the magnitude of the problem by addressing its negative effects. Test anxiety is a serious problem for college students. According to a 2010 study in an online article, What is Test Anxiety?, published by Healthline and written by Anna Goddard in 2017, test anxiety can affect anywhere between 10 to 40% of all students. The problem with this is that many people will just leave their test anxiety untreated and hope that they can get over it. The start of a vicious cycle. By this point, I assume that everyone has taken at least one health or anatomy course and can understand that the body goes through a fight or flight response when presented with a stressful situation, for example, like test anxiety. but but when this response is always on, then the hormone cortisol takes a toll on the body. An online article, Cushing Syndrome, published by Mayo Clinic in 2018 states that increased stress or cortisol may cause many symptoms such as depression, cognitive difficulties, and even bone loss. Not only does test anxiety cause these health symptoms, but it has other negative effects as well. These physical responses hinder our ability to access working memory, which explains why people with test anxiety score lower on exams, 12 points lower according to an online article, How Cold Feet Are Ruining Your Grades, by Deseret News and written by Mercedes White in 2015. Time management, along with feeling unprepared, is one of the main culprits of our problem being discussed. And now that you know the magnitude of the problem as well as one of its causes, let me explain what you can do to manage it. Let's start with the basics. As mentioned, according to an online article, Test Taking and Anxiety by U.S. Davis, students preparing for tests often neglect basic biological, emotional, and social needs. One of the solutions could be to manage your time so there's space for self-care. This can be anything that relieves your mind and body and can be considered mini rewards once your study goals are met or you finish with the exam. As mentioned in an online article, Fighting the Fear of Test Taking, in the Consumer Edition EBSCO database by Orr in March 2003. You could take a nap or exercise. This would allow you to be more productive and can relieve mental fog. Personally, to relieve anxiety, I will do a beauty routine such as a face mask. A second solution could be to break your task into smaller, more manageable tasks. This allows you to not feel so overwhelmed, procrastinate, and be stressed. On an online article by UGA Today, Break Large Tasks Down, written in 2014, says, by setting priorities and breaking the bigger project into smaller tasks, the work is most manageable and less intimidating. For example, for this class, you could work on your intro portion of your outline on one day, and then on the next day you could work on the body, and so on. As I conclude, let me just say from all this, I hope that by now you have the info and tools to battle your monster that is test anxiety. We talked about how harmful untreated anxiety is with all its negative effects. We pointed our fingers towards time management coupled with feeling unprepared as being a main cause, and we discussed 2 possible solutions to manage our time and ultimately reduce our test anxiety. So the next time you hear the word exam or you see the date approaching on your calendar, I'd like you to think about why it is you're anxious. I'd encourage you to try and apply the solutions mentioned today towards alleviating your stress. Thank you.